Hey tubers and pickers, it's Drew the California Picker. Welcome back to my channel, California Pickin', and I'm going to do a little video haul today on vinyl. But first I'm going to talk about the grading of vinyl because it's very specific, much like stamps or coins. I don't know a heck of a lot, but I know enough. Basically, vinyl is separated into 7 categories. The first being the most valuable, and of course, you know, the kind of holy grail that you look for is an album in mint condition. And an album in mint condition could be in the package, I believe, sealed, never played. That would be mint, okay? And they just call it M. So the next category is near mint, and near mint category is an album that's been played but is in pristine condition and well cared for, and that there's no writing, tape, or tears on the cover. No bad rings from being stacked. No creases. That would be near mint. And you're fortunate if you find a near mint record album. But as far as, like, let's say this Beatles cover from '65, it's got some writing of the lady's name right there. So that's not going to be in the near mint category. However, the rest of the album cover is really in great shape. And without that writing, it has a little bit of toning, but that might classify for near mint or the next category, which would be very good plus, VG plus. And that would be a category where you would be able to play the record with no skipping, no bad scratches, no bad warping, and then the album cover would have a couple little slight blemishes. Now, here's something interesting. Let's move over here. This is a group of rap albums, early rap and hip hop albums that I thought were possibly, valuable. I mean, Run DMC. I mean, that these guys are still spinning these albums. Anyways, these albums are all in great condition. But see that hole right there? That's called the spindle hole. And if you were an audiophile, really somebody who's really into playing vinyl on some really good equipment, you would basically be standing over your turntable and laying that album right all over the spindle. But many times back in the day, people were drunk, stoned, they didn't care. They kind of put the album in on an angle or just set it down and then scooted it toward the hole. So a lot of times that spindle hole is messed up or there's little scuff marks from the spindle itself. That would not be considered a near mint or VG plus. The next category is VG, very good. And that has a little bit more leniency as far as some of these imperfections. Then there's, so I went V, that's good. And then there is just good, which is an average album, really not worth too much money. And of course, poor, which, that says it all. So it's basically broken down into 7 categories with some subcategories and some room for interpretation from the buyer and the seller, because some of these albums are so rare that sometimes it could be overlooked. So let's check out these rap albums first. Like I said, I thought they were going to be worth something, but it turns out that I don't think they really are. So Def Jam recordings, I picked these up at Goodwill just for the heck of it. And there's a let's see, DMX. Maybe I thought some of these might go for some big money, Ja Rule, etc. And they don't. So, but let's go to this other stack over here. And that would be this album right here, Deep Purple, from the Royal Philharmonic Hall, conducted by Matthew Arnold. And it's in really good condition all around. The cover is in good condition. There's also, stipulations about how if the cover has a little slit in it, it's allowed to have a 1 inch slit, or if not, if it's larger, then it gets bumped down to the next category. So very interesting. It's like very specific, much like stamps. And but that's a pretty darn good cover overall, and the album's good itself. I can't really show you all the albums because I'm holding the tablet with one hand, but that's an excellent album. I do not know the value of that. Madman Across the Water, Elton John, real good album. Got some writing on the cover, so that can't be near mint or even VG plus. I believe that's just good or very good, but not VG plus. And then a lot of times as the albums are stacked, that you'll have a ring from the album right here. See it? That's not a good thing, but that would get bumped down a category as well. And then we go to Eric Clapton's Slow Hand. All these are, I mean, the Deep Purple album's pretty good. 20 bucks on that maybe. These other ones, also about 15, 20 bucks because they are the original albums from that time. But then I found these. An original Michael Jackson Thriller in really good condition. Let's see, let's just try to use that grading technique. I would say this is near mint, or VG plus anyways, but it's just got one little tiny little scratch, like a pin scratch on the album, but it's in really great condition. And let's look at the back. No creases, no blemishes, no writing. Of course, this is from 79 or 78? Thriller, 79, something like that. But there's Mike. Really great condition. So I looked this up. This is going for around $60 to $75. And then I think this was the big winner. You guys know what that is? Led Zeppelin, Stairway to Heaven album. And let's go check this out. This Stairway to Heaven album, it didn't have any title to it, but it's got the guy at the top of the mountain overlooking everything. Really great copy. In excellent condition. I'd say this one is VG plus and possibly, maybe near mint. But it's so funny when you find these old albums. You find sometimes people were cleaning weed on these albums that folded out, so you'll find sometimes weed dust right in there. But one reason why this album is important, and this is why I said the sleeve was in some cases going to make the difference, and this sleeve does make the difference because it had the song names on it, and then on this side it had the words to Stairway to Heaven. So this is the older version, the older printing of this, because the new ones didn't have this. So that's going to make this album a lot more valuable. And I looked up the price on these, and this could be anywhere from somewhere like $85 to $150, something. I just saw a whole bunch of nice, good prices. So anyways, if you like the video, please share on Google plus Facebook. Come on back to California Pickin'. Hit like, leave your comments. Do you guys collect vinyl, play vinyl? And if so, what kind of vinyl do you guys have and play? And so I hope you enjoyed it. Please correct me if I made any mistakes, and come on back. Keep on picking your fine vinyl. Vintage. Cheers now.